It was a dramatic day in court for Hannah Freeman, a former 4th grade teacher who stalked her ex-boyfriend 33 times in just 19 days. But dramatic doesn't even begin to cover it. As the daughter of a police chief, Hannah believed her family ties would shield her from consequences. That illusion shattered the moment the case began, with a desperate 911 call. But what made this case truly chilling wasn't just the stalking. It was who Hannah Freeman thought she was. She wasn't some anonymous stranger. She was a 27-year-old with a master's degree, a 4th grade teacher, and the daughter of North Ridgeville's police chief, Michael Freeman. On paper, she looked perfect, educated, professional, trusted with children. Off paper, she'd long relied on a different kind of advantage, a belief that her last name put her above consequences. That belief showed up in 2022, when officers responded to noise complaints and Hannah was arrested for disorderly conduct. When police questioned her, she didn't act surprised. She acted entitled. "My dad is Michael Freeman," she told them, offering her ID as if a name could erase the complaint. She repeated that claim to neighbors too, making it clear she expected protection, not punishment. What should have been a wake-up call instead became validation. Her connections would shield her. When she met David, a middle school teacher in nearby Westlake, that sense of entitlement metastasized. Both were education professionals with clean resumes, and at first they seemed like a good match. But by April 2024, David had decided the relationship was over. For him, the breakup was final. For Hannah, over was only the start of something far darker. She began showing up at his workplace uninvited, parking in the lot, watching. Police GPS data later revealed the scope. Hannah visited his school 33 times on 19 different days over a 30-day span, sometimes more than once a day. This wasn't coincidence or coincidence's cousin. It was deliberate, systematic surveillance. David testified she followed him home night after night. Imagine the constant dread. Someone watching you at work, trailing you at dusk, turning every walk and drive into a potential confrontation. Then it escalated. On November 6, 2024, after David told her not to come over, Hannah turned up anyway and found another woman at his apartment. Instead of leaving, she broke into his unlocked car and stole 2 backpacks, laptops, his wallet, car keys, and prescription meds. These weren't impulsive souvenirs of a bad night. They were chosen items meant to control him. Finally, after months of this daily harassment, David called 911 on November 7th.
Hello? My ex-girlfriend continues to stalk me and park her car next to wherever I am and follow me home every night.
How long has it been happening?
Probably a month now.
Have you ever contacted police about it?
No.
Okay, where are you at?
So, as I just called you, she got back in her car and stormed off.
A month of being watched, followed, and terrorized before he finally dialed 911. The very next day, Hannah returned to the school, and David called again. This time, cops showed up and found exactly what he'd described. Hannah, parked and waiting, eyes fixed on the building. Body cam from that encounter pulls back the curtain on her mindset, calm, deflecting, as if nothing about her behavior was wrong.
Hannah Freeman?
Hannah Freeman? Are you supposed to be up here? You are? Were you in his vehicle earlier? No?
Well, we went to get dinner together, but...
You guys, where'd you guys go get dinner at?
King's.
King's?
King's, yeah.
Raising Cane's? Which one?
North Olmsted.
North Olmsted? Okay. Well, we got a complaint from him that you were in his vehicle tonight and you're harassing him and stalking him.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Did you take some items from him last night?
When pressed about being inside David's car, Hannah didn't deny it. She casually claimed they had gone out to dinner together, twisting a clear act of theft into something harmless and consensual. There was no shock in her voice, no trace of denial, and certainly no remorse. Throughout the arrest, she acted as if the whole situation was an inconvenience, not a crime. This wasn't the reaction of someone who made a bad decision in the heat of the moment. This was the reaction of someone who simply got caught.
I am. I'm putting it down.
Step over here.
Putting it down.
Do me a favor, turn around, put your hands behind your back. You don't got anything on you that's going to stick, poke me, anything like that?
As Hannah was being handcuffed outside, David finally laid out the full scope of what he had endured. For the first time, police heard just how far her stalking, theft, and manipulation had gone. Details that painted a picture far darker than anyone realized.
Did you invite her here?
No.
Are you sure?
No. Yeah,
Are you sure you didn't invite her here?
Yes, I never invited her to anything.
She said that you invited her here.
Yeah, I know. She probably would get it. She actually yesterday followed me to my apartment, stole stuff out of my car.
Yeah.
Medications that I need, my car keys, which I was finally able to get back from her, a laptop, and my wallet. And she has run up a bunch of charges on one of my credit cards now.
David revealed something worse. Hannah hadn't just been watching him, she'd been digging into his life. She knew passwords to my accounts, he said. She's been messing with my stuff. That confession turned harassment into calculated intrusion, identity violations that crossed another line entirely.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, and then because I did date her back in April, we probably ended it. She kind of knew passwords to like my accounts and stuff. She's been messing with my accounts.
Where did she rack up the charges at?
That was all from Amazon.
Hannah had gone beyond stalking. She was stealing his identity. Using David's stolen information, she gained access to his personal accounts, racking up charges on Amazon as if his credit card were her own. With evidence piling up, prosecutors initially hit her with 5 felonies: stalking, burglary, 2 counts of aggravated theft, identity fraud, and drug theft. Each one carried the possibility of real prison time. But by June 2025, everything shifted. Those felonies mysteriously melted down into just 3 misdemeanors: disorderly conduct, obstructing official business, and possessing criminal tools. Yet how does someone facing overwhelming proof of systematic stalking, theft, and fraud walk away with a slap on the wrist? The answer lies in privilege, legal maneuvering, and a justice system that often frames female offenders as troubled individuals needing help, not punishment. Her attorney, Michael Kinlan, worked to rewrite the narrative. He argued the relationship hadn't ended in April at all, but stretched until November 6th, the very day of the theft. Even bolder, he claimed Hannah wasn't stalking David's workplace 33 times in 19 days, but visiting to help with classwork. A middle school teacher, apparently, needed an elementary school teacher's help over 30 times in less than a month. The defense spun the theft, too, saying Hannah only took his bag for about 3 minutes after seeing another woman at his apartment. But the evidence told another story: laptops, a wallet, car keys, and prescription medications, all systematically stolen. By the time sentencing day arrived, Hannah stood before the court with a carefully rehearsed statement in hand, eyes fixed on her notes as she delivered her performance.
I regret the incident. I definitely acted out of emotion, and I regret that decision that I made that night, and I will take steps necessary to move on from this incident, and you will not see me back here again.
Okay, thank you.
Her words that night reduced months of calculated stalking into what sounded like a single bad decision. The statement was short, vague, and hollow. Nothing close to an honest reckoning with the damage she had caused. There was no recognition of David's fear, no acknowledgement of the invasion into every corner of his life. Legal analysts later described it as a template apology, the kind of speech crafted to satisfy the courtroom without actually saying anything meaningful. It was less about accountability and more about playing the role of someone who had learned their lesson. But Judge David Tatia wasn't fooled. He'd seen through enough hollow statements in his courtroom to recognize one instantly, and Hannah's performance only confirmed his doubts about her sincerity.
I'm going to place you on 18 months of community control. You'll be ordered to have no contact with Mr. McKenzie, the victim. In this case, as a condition of community control, you are to wear a GPS device for the first 90 days. You'll be on house arrest with work release. You'll be ordered to undergo mental health counseling, particularly and you will serve the first 7 days of this term of probation in our county jail. You are ordered remanded.
Hannah's reaction was instant and startling. She erupted into shrieks and sobs, the kind of breakdown that made it clear she hadn't truly believed this moment would come. For someone who had relied on her father's influence and her own sense of privilege, the reality of facing consequences hit like a tidal wave. It wasn't grief over what she had done. It was the shock of realizing that, for once, her connections and excuses couldn't shield her. Her attorney scrambled to contain the fallout, her actions frantic with desperation. Unmoved by the attorney's challenge to the court's interpretation, Judge Mattia fired back with a devastating response.
You make any effort to talk to me in the last 6 months about how I would sentence your client? No.
As she was escorted to jail, Hannah Freeman cried and shrieked. It was the sound of a woman utterly unaccustomed to accountability confronting it head-on. Hannah Freeman walked into court expecting her privilege to protect her. She walked out in handcuffs, finally learning that actions have irreversible consequences. For David, this case represents validation and safety. This story shows why it's so important to recognize entitled behavior early and respond with firm consequences. This case sparks crucial questions about privilege, justice, and perception. So now I want to hear from you. What part of this case was most disturbing to you? Was it the calculated stalking and her refusal to accept rejection? The layers of institutional privilege that protected her for so long? Or her complete courtroom meltdown when that privilege finally ran out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more in-depth analysis of cases like this, where crime, privilege, and culture collide, make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching.